Beautiful people, this story is from 2016, but as you can read here, it was a story so strange, it left police scratching their heads and neighbors locking their doors. Timea Batts, another Tennessee story. She was shot dead on her first day of school by her father, accidentally. And the story goes, on Monday afternoon, Timea Lachey Batts caught the bus home after her first day of middle school. The 11-year-old with two-tone hair and a bright smile left the bus and began to walk through her quiet neighborhood of Hendersonville, Tennessee. By the time she reached her own house, however, Timea somehow had been shot, her dad told police. He took his daughter to the hospital, but it was too late. Timea was dead. The bizarre shooting left police and local media searching for answers. Authorities initially said that they had no suspects and few clues aside from the father's account. Detectives tell us they believe the child may have been shot somewhere between getting off the bus and walking home, which is only a few feet apart, reported News Channel 5. Neighbors were baffled. "I'm shocked. I'm just totally shocked," Sean Stover told the Tennessean. "Why would anybody shoot an 11-year-old? Lewis Gray said to Channel 5. "She couldn't be involved in nothing because she's too young." As the night drew on, however, the mysterious killing of Timea Batts took several more turns. At around 1 a.m. local time, authorities announced they had made an arrest. Police did not immediately identify the shooting victim, but Sumner County Schools announced Monday evening it was grieved to learn of the tragic loss of one of our 6th grade students, Timea Lachey Batts. Timea was a bright and kind girl who was well loved by her classmates and teachers, the school district said in a statement. She will be greatly missed at Knox Doss Middle School at Drakes Creek. Timea lived with her father, his partner, and Timea's 2 younger siblings, according to authorities. Her house sat on the corner of Shady View Drive, a quaint street lined with minivans and closely cut lawns. Monday was Timea's first day at Knox, which serves 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. A photo circulating on social media Monday night showed a girl identified as Timea in a striped dress with a backpack and a broad smile, seemingly on her way to school. School officials said the girl was fine when she got off the bus Monday afternoon. The incident did not occur on the bus stop or at the bus stop, the district said in its statement. When police spoke to Timea's father at the hospital, Timothy Batts told them his daughter was injured before she got home. The father said the child came in after school and said she'd been shot. Hendersonville Police Detective Sergeant Jim Vaughn told the Tennessean shortly after the shooting. Operating on that information, authorities scoured Shady View Drive for clues, stringing up crime scene tape between mailboxes as they searched for evidence of a shooting outside the home. They found none, according to Vaughn. Neighbors said they didn't hear any gunshots, Fox 17 reported. We don't really have any suspects right now, Vaughn told the Tennessean, adding that there was no sign anyone else was in danger. Right now, we're just trying to find out what happened to the little girl. When asked if Timea could have shot herself somehow, Vaughn replied, "We have no facts right now. We haven't been inside the house." Police were waiting on a judge to sign a search warrant before entering, he explained. When the warrant finally arrived, the case took a sudden twist. At around 9:30 p.m., Vaughn told reporters he no longer thought the shooting happened outside Timea's house. "The evidence tells me that it happened inside," he said. "At first you told us it appeared if she had been shot walking from the school bus to home," one reporter asked as she filmed the detective on her phone. "Were you given false information?" "We were told that the incident took place from the bus to the house, somewhere along the way," Vaughn answered. "We don't know if that was mostly false yet or not." Less than 4 hours later, Timea's father was under arrest. Timothy Batts was charged with reckless homicide, tampering with evidence, false reporting, and possessing a firearm as a felon, Fox 17 reported. Despite the arrest, mystery still shrouds the slaying of Timea Batts. How did an 11-year-old girl, home from her first day of school, end up dead? And why? She was not ready to leave this earth. Justin Mathis, a 17-year-old who rode the bus with Timea, told the Tennessean. She hasn't experienced high school or gotten her first car. There was so much more for her to experience. Like I said, it was a story so strange, it left police scratching their heads and neighbors locking their doors. Nobody understood. What happened to this baby? How? When? Where? Why? But all the while, her father knew. And I'm inclined to believe his story, that it really was an accident. However careless it was, I don't think that he meant to kill his daughter. As we look into this, I think you can understand what I'm about to say. I do believe that his lifestyle had him a little paranoid, a little jumpy, and that is what caused his abrupt reaction to just a little girl coming into the house after school. Let's look at some more of Timea's story. God bless you, beautiful baby.
A Tennessee sixth grader was shot and killed by her father when she came home from her first day of middle school. Timothy Batts, 29, was charged in the slaying of his 11-year-old daughter, Timea Batts, after he claimed his daughter came home from school around 3:30 p.m. Monday bleeding from a gunshot wound. The dad drove his little girl to the hospital where she died from a bullet to the torso. Investigators later determined Timea had been shot inside her Hendersonville home that she shared with her father and two younger siblings. Batts was arrested on a slew of charges, including reckless homicide, tampering with evidence, false reporting, and possessing a firearm as a felon. Police have not detailed a possible motive in the killing.
your full name?
Timothy Lamont Betts. Timothy Lamont Betts.
Lamont. That's B-A-T-T-S.
That's correct.
Current address.
118 Chevy Drive.
Okay. And what's your phone number?
615-495-6377.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
4287.
Okay. What's your, do you have a Tennessee driver's license?
102-169. 239.
Are you working anywhere?
And then land, cutting grass right now.
Landscape type work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting you to show up here. This is a surprise for me. I appreciate you coming in. You are not under arrest at this time. You came in on your own. And I will tell you that I know me and a couple of partners of mine have been looking into what happened, and we know a good bit about it. But my partner came and told me a second ago that you were here to talk. I was happy to hear that because I really want to hear your side of the story and all this.
Honest, and I don't want to be on the earth. It's my daughter. That's my baby. That's my world. I love her to death. And it was a total accident.
Crazy things.
And I got cameras in the house that you could go back and buy the cameras and see that it was an accident. I'm in the house. I'm laying down, getting me some rest before they come home from school because I know everybody's going to come home.
And let me stop you 1 second. I appreciate that. We're aware of the cameras. Obviously, we saw the cameras in the house, and we've already worked with ADT to get that. So, and you're telling me that, which even lends more credence to make me think that you're telling me the truth. So
I want y'all to know what I'm going to tell you when I come.
I was going to tell you that same thing because obviously, we're going to look at the video, and that's going to clear up exactly what happened. And you brought it up, so I didn't have to bring it up, so that's really great. But I just want to remind you to make sure that what you tell me is going to line up with what that video shows. That's an important thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I came home, so I'm trying to go lay down and give me a little rest real quick before they get home. And then I want to learn the time that she get home from school. So I'm in there laying across my bed about to doze off, and as I'm dozing off, I hear her. So, and then I hear a shadow, so I'm thinking who in the house? And I get scared. So I went and I grabbed the gun. And so as I'm creeping around the corner, I'm thinking that somebody breaking in my house. My daughter jumped out, and it was and it all happened that quick, and I was like, man.
How many shots did you fire?
Just one shot. Just one shot, and it was like when I seen that it was her, I was so hurried. I'm like, she's like, damn, what?
She's your daughter, right?
My daughter, man, I'm talking about I've been through so much, man. I done went to court, got custody of my kids, man. Everything, man.
I'll tell you, when I first got out there and was kind of told about what was going on, and I found out she was your daughter, I didn't think for a second that you meant to shoot her.
I did.
It takes a pretty cold-hearted person to want to kill their own child. It's a very rare thing.
That's what I do. I live for them, to protect them and make sure they straight. That's my baby. That's my firstborn, man.
Did you think that you just thought that someone was breaking in the house?
Someone was breaking in the house because she at school. To my knowledge, she at school. So that's my whole point of getting home. I know she wouldn't. I'm thinking she wouldn't get home till around 3 or 3:30.
Let me go back for a second. When you heard the noise, what were you doing?
I was laying in the bed, dozing off.
In the master bedroom?
In the master bedroom downstairs. I'm laying in the bed, eyes closed, trying to get me some sleep real quick. And I hear, you could hear somebody run across it. And I'm thinking, shouldn't nobody be in here?
Like somebody's walking across the floor?
Yeah, like somebody, and then I seen a shadow. So I'm like, who is that? Nobody say nothing. So then that's when I went over there, grabbed it, and then as I'm creeping, somebody just jumped out. And then she was like, boom.
Now, let me ask you this. When that part happened, she jumped out, said boo or whatever, where was she at and where were you at?
I was coming from my room, and she was probably had been hiding on the side of the wall by the living room, and there was a jump out in front of me thing. And she been.
Where in your room were you at?
On the bed. I was walking towards that, trying to see what was going on in there once I heard the noise. I was walking out of the room trying to see what's going on. And this been going on, like, and my fiance out there, she could tell you, like, for about 2-3 weeks, her and my son, every day when I come in the house, it's a game that, like, just jump out from all over the house to scare me. And
You said, who could tell me that?
my fiance, and they'll jump out like, boo. And I'd be like, all right, it got to the point where sometimes I'll leave it, I'd be like, I know, I see you, you know, and that's how I didn't know. I didn't know.
What's your fiance's name?
Jasmine Horton.
Okay. What, who all lives in that house?
Me, Jasmine Horton, and we got Timea and 3 other kids.
Okay.
They go to Jean Brown, so this was her first day at her new school. It's like
This is Tamea's first day?
First day at Knox Docks. It's her first time going there. She went to Jean Brown last year. So, you know, I was trying to learn their new schedule when the bus be leaving and when it'll be coming.
Right. Right. Okay.
I just don't want to be arrested. I don't want to be around to see everything that's going to go on with her. I just want to be there.
Let's do this. I've been to your house, okay?
Yes,
so
sir.
I know, for example, your master bedroom. Let's say that this is your master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that this is a door coming in your master bedroom right there, okay? And your bed is like right here, right? And you got like a bathroom right here. Okay. So you were asleep in this bed.
I was in the bed.
Okay. And you heard a sound like somebody walking in the house. Okay. So you got out of bed. Did you get out on this side or on this
I
side?
got out on
On this side. Okay. Where was the gun at?
Under the dresser down there.
Under the dresser down. Like under on the floor?
Yeah.
Under? Okay. And then what'd you do?
That's when I was walking out.
Walking this way, walking this way?
towards the door trying to see what's going on. Who out there? And then that's when she seen me coming, I guess he jumped out.
Were you, how close to the door were you, do you think, when you fired the shot?
I'm not even sure. I was in the door fired. I'm not even sure.
I mean, you couldn't have been back here or back here. Definitely up here somewhere.
Yeah, once I seen it was my baby, man, I was just so, like, scared, shocked, man. I stopped everything, man. I ran to the hospital, no shoes and none of that on. I just ran straight to the hospital.
Where's the gun at?
My cousin's gun.
Is it here?
Yeah, he not a gun out here. I don't think he probably got it at home, but he right out there.
Okay. Your cousin's got the gun?
Yeah.
What's your cousin's name?
James Brown.
James Brown.
The gun is registered to him.
But he has it on. You gave it to him after all this happened?
Yeah, he had got it somewhat in between because I ran straight to the hospital with her.
Okay.
You're not going to take anything out.
I wasn't trying to hide or nothing. I just wanted to make sure that she was okay. And I wanted to see that she was okay. And then I just wanted to...
After this happened, you told people, I know you talked to a couple different officers briefly, and you talked to people at the hospital, and you told a story about
that I didn't know what happened.
that you didn't know what happened, and that she got shot outside after she got first.
I didn't say outside or nothing. I just said she ran in the room and was shot. But I'm saying this because I didn't want to go right then. I wanted to know that she okay. And I wasn't trying to lie to nobody. I wasn't trying to hide from nobody. I ain't trying to do none of that, man. I just wanted to make sure my baby was okay. And I know if I had told them what happened right then, they probably would have put me right in handcuffs and took me away. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure she was okay.
Okay. So the reason you told that story that wasn't true is you didn't want to risk being arrested right then.
Why I don't know what's going on.
Be there
I wanted to be there.
What was going on.
I wanted to be there with her. And I wanted to be there with her, and that's why I'm telling them, can I please go in the room? Can I please go? Tell me about the life fight. I'm back in the soon as they did that, the officer gave me my license back and let me go, and I went straight to Vanderbilt.
You want to meet our police dog?
Where is, what car did you take her to the hospital in?
And my sister's car. My sister right outside, but the car no outside. There was a, I don't know what the fuck car she got, man. It's a SUV, like a Terran or something like that.
Terrain?
One of those
GMC Terrain, maybe?
cars.
What color is it?
It's cold.
It's your sister's car. She's here.
Yeah, she's right.
What's your sister's name?
Keisha Back. I don't think I want my family to do this, man.
He's responsible for buying all kinds of bad guys.
Why did you have your cousin's gun?
He was at my house. He was over there Saturday, and he was supposed to be going to the gun range, but he had got to drinking a little bit, sitting over there, got to drinking, and he was like, man, boss, I'm going to leave this here, and I just come back and get it. And I was like, no problem, I ain't going to drag on with it no way, you know, and it was kind of DUI, so I was like, it's okay, you could leave. And he left it there, not thinking that nothing like this would happen, man, and it's like, it seemed like, man, it was, I'm saying, real, man.
Who all was at the house when this happened?
It was just me. I had just got home and I was laying up about to go to sleep. I was there by myself.
Tell me, what's your daughter's full name?
Timea was Shay Betts.
Spell Timea.
Timea.
Sure you don't want to go to bed?
How do you spell the Shay?
Lashay.
She lives there?
She lives
What's her date of birth?
722 right here, right?
And she was going to Knox Dawes.
She first day in Knox Dawes.
Sixth grade?
Sixth grade. First day in sixth grade, man. I was just going to get home so they can tell me how they first day at school was.
What time do you think this happened?
It had been around somewhere close to 3 o'clock, because I know that's why I was trying to get home before she got there.
What time do you think you got home?
Probably around 2:30.
And where were you coming from?
I had been downtown at the shop. I mean, you know, I cut grass through the day, so I was going, what I did today, I was riding by looking at yards, seeing if they need to be cut.
Okay. And you think you got home around 2:30?
I got home around 2:30.
And you lay down in bed and went to sleep?
Laid down, I laid down, was on my way to sleep, trying to get me some sleep before they get there.
And what time would she normally get home?
This is her first day at school, new school, so I didn't know. So that's why I was trying to get home so I could learn the skills.
Okay.
I wanted to be there before she got there.
Yeah, I mean, what time would you have thought she would got
would have been
home?
like 3:30.
Okay.
Something like that. I figured, because I said to myself, she got to be at school at 7. So they probably got like 7 to 3:30 or something like that.
Right. I told you we've been working with ADT.
Mm-hmm.
They told me that you tried to get into your video earlier. Did you not try to log into
I
it?
didn't call her. I think, yeah.
Okay.
So she probably was trying to see what happened herself.
Okay. How many kids do you have that you're the father of?
I got 4 kids myself.
Do they all live with you?
They all live in the house with me.
Which one of them?
Timea Harris.
How do you spell Timea?
Tamia.
Timaya.
Harris.
What's her date of birth?
7/26, 2006.
So she's 10.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Timothy Batts Jr.
Whole thing, you make it corn grown somewhere around Gatlinburg, somewhere around
25, 2008. Okay.
So he would be 8?
Okay. And that's Shania Harris. That's 8-N-I-Y-A.
What's her name?
How about that birthday? 7/30/2008.
So she's 8. And then Timea was your other? And that was Timea.
Timea.
Okay, thanks. You said 7205 for her?
7205.
So she was 11. The car you're in, you said it's Lakeisha's car? And I'm sorry, again, what relationship is Lakeisha to you?
My sister.
Your sister. You know where the car is now?
Keisha. Where your car at?
My car.
Yeah, no. That I was in.
It's Kristen.
My other sister Gabby.
Okay.
But nobody don't want to have nothing. Anything, man, it's my daughter, man. I know if something got to go on, man. I'm here to face it, but I promise and I hope that it don't. I ain't trying to have nothing. Anything you want to see, you can see. Anything you want to know, you can know.
I appreciate that. And that's what I hoped you would do.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if you would, but you did, and I appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir. I told him I couldn't straight to it. I told him I said I don't want to have, I don't want to run from nothing. And I was going to wait till the morning to come in, and he told me, no, we got to go now. We got to go now.
That was the right decision.
Yes, sir.
Because we would have come to find you.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
what I didn't
come.
want. I didn't want to be putting no suspect in my daughter's murder. Man.
Right, and it looks worse on you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks much better on you that you came to find us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Do you have your cell phone?
No, I don't have my cell phone.
Where is it at?
I would probably left it in the car at my sister's car.
Is that here?
No, the car that I was in, like I told you, I don't want to have nothing.
Okay. You said your cousin's got the gun, but it's not here.
Mm-hmm. But his gun was to him.
Okay. And how long did you say you'd had that gun?
He brought it was like Saturday.
This past Saturday?
This Saturday.
Okay. There was the officers that were out at your house. I was out there for a short time, but they did a search warrant on your house, did search for evidence, right? They came across a lot of cash. What can you tell me about that?
How much cash was it?
A lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably, well, keep my money in the house.
Okay.
But I own a beauty salon where I collect blueprint, and then I got the landscaping business.
Okay.
And I don't have no bank where I keep my money or nothing like that.
Okay.
We save enough money to buy a house, me and my fiance.
Okay. They also mentioned that the car you were in today had a lot of loose cash laying around in it.
It's loose cash.
Yeah, when you were at the hospital, I guess you pulled up in the emergency lane, which makes sense.
It couldn't have been no more than this right here wasn't on purpose, because I got that out of there.
No, there was a bunch of loose cash in the car.
It couldn't have been.
Still you for just a minute? Okay. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
I can sit here and talk to you all day. Would you mind writing me a statement of what happened?
Okay.
And just that way it's in your words. You did. I mean, it doesn't have to be long, but basically the gist of what happened. Like you described it to me, just in your words. And I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you.
Disc exhibit number 29 with all 4 videos from the cameras. Show them one at a time. And General, what's the best way to handle this so the jury can see? We need to dim the lights? Or
Yes, sir, I think it would be.
okay.
Your Honor, can I ask Deputy Nick to stop the...
Yes, sir. You can narrate or get Detective Harold to narrate, and then you can ask Deputy Nick to stop anytime you want to.
Right. Okay. Detective Harold, would you narrate what we're seeing here? Is that the beginning of it, Deputy Nick?
This is the first clip. I can't identify it. It is the recording from the camera in the kitchen. You can see.
Get that pointer if you can find it in the dark.
This is the refrigerator. The countertop where the dishwasher would be right about here. And these are the tops of the chairs to the dining room table.
All right. Go ahead, Deputy Nick.
So that is Mr. Batts coming in his house, walking through the kitchen and going around the corner towards the living room. And again, there's no motion, the video plays, and then the camera cuts off, the recording stops.
All right. Could we run that one more time? And I'd like to ask you if you can identify anything that Mr. Batts has on his person at that time, please.
So he apparently has something in his right hand. You can't really tell what it is, and it looks like he may have a cell phone up to his ear in his left hand.
All right. Can you slow play that, Deputy Nick? Okay, thank you. That's video clip number 1, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, could we show video clip number 2?
I can identify this. This is a video of Mr. Batts walking through the living room. This was taken with the camera that was shown earlier in the photograph under the TV on the stand on the wall of the living room. Again, here's the dining room table. This is the doorway going from the living room into the dining room.
Okay, thank you. That's video clip number 1, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, could we show video clip number 2?
I can identify this. This is a video of Mr. Batts walking through the living room. This was taken with the camera that was shown earlier in the photograph under the TV on the stand on the wall of the living room. Again, here's the dining room table. This is the doorway going from the living room into the dining room. And we saw Mr. Batts come from the kitchen, dining room area, and then walk, as we look at to the left, towards the master bedroom.
Can we do that in slow motion?
So again, he appears to be on the phone with his left hand and his right hand. It appears to be he's holding a firearm or a pistol and a piece of paper.
Can you stop it, Deputy Nick, at this point? Back it up just a little bit.
Appears to be a silhouette of a pistol right there. And then if he goes forward, as his arm swings to the behind him, you can see the pistol again in his right hand.
What about the next clip?
I can identify this. This is back at the kitchen camera, or this is Timea coming in. She's wearing the book bag. And you can still see her in the frame down here, the back of her book bag. When the clip ends.
We'll run it one more time, Deputy Nick, please. Can we run the next clip, the fourth final clip?
This is the living room. This appears to be Timea jumping to the left side of the screen. You can see that her book bag is now present in the spot that I photographed it next to the dining room table. You'll see Mr. Batts come into frame from the left, pick Timea up, and then run out towards the garage door through the kitchen. Mr. Batts will return from the direction he just left, go into the bedroom, and then go back out.
Let's see if we can run it again in slow motion, if you can, Nick. Can you back it up just a minute, or just a second, Nick? Detective Harold, were you able to tell what he has in his hands there?
It's difficult for me. I don't know if it's if it's shoes or what. But he's got something in his hand that he came back in for after he leaves to me outside. I don't know if he went to the truck, put her in it, and then he had to come back for something.
The reason we put the bond condition of taking drug tests on Mr. Bass was because he was convicted about 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, of sale of cocaine. And he had some other misdemeanor drug convictions before that, so we made a bond condition that he has to take drug tests. Another reason I did that was because at that hearing it came out there was video surveillance showing Mr. Bass walking around in his car with a gun in his hand while he's on the phone. That concerned me greatly. So I can do nothing. I can raise his bond. It was, $500,000 bond. That's where we said it is a very substantial bond. I think that's a large bond. I can bump it back up higher than that. I can make it $1 million. Does that do any good for anything? I don't think it affects anything to raise the bond higher. I can put more conditions. What conditions would I put? He's already reporting weak. He's already required to take drug tests. He can't move. That's a condition. I don't know what other conditions I could put on Mr. Batts that would make a difference here. Apparently, he's not used since he failed his first drug test. They've tested him weekly. He's passed those. He's had some other tests that apparently he has passed. But I'm just concerned about the drug use. Cocaine is a bad drug. It's a very addictive drug. He's already been through this a few years ago. Mr. Batts, I'm sorry, but I'm going to revoke your bond and hold you without bond. Do not applaud.
Do you think Timothy Batts is guilty of reckless homicide? Today, the Hendersonville father who shot and killed his 11-year-old daughter testified in his own trial as his future now lies in the hands of the jury. Let's get right out to News Channel 5's Matthew Torres, who's been following this trial. Matthew, I know this has really come down to the details, and they've been called back in the courtroom as well. What's going on?
Rory, that's right. We are waiting to hear an update, but so far the judge is asking the jury as far as what they would like to do for the rest of the night. Continue deliberation, take a break to eat, or go home and continue this tomorrow morning. Now, as far as this trial, there is no question from prosecutors and defense that this was a horrible accident and that Batts truly loved his daughter. The jury will have to make their decision based on the definition of recklessness. Now, we have just learned that they are planning to go home for the night and continue deliberation tomorrow morning. As far as that word reckless, it is a definition that both sides have interpreted differently.
He is a man that's been beat up all enough. He is a man that's taken 6 shots in the back.
The defense laid out everything on the table, from showing jurors Timothy Batts' gunshot wound 6 years ago to showing the father at his most vulnerable.
I just wanted to just kill myself and just be done with life. And
on day 3, Timothy Batts took the stand. He repeated the story of waking up to a noise and grabbing the gun after seeing a shadow he thought was an intruder, only it was Timea instead.
She jumped out from the side of the wall and say, "Wow!" And as if to scare me. And the gun was in my hand and it just went off. And I realized it was Timea. I'm like, "Timea, please tell me you're not hit."
Batts says he didn't expect her to be home so soon. Surveillance video captures Batts rushing her out of the house.
And she was like, Daddy, just tell me this a dream. Daddy, tell me it's a dream. And then I was like, I just kept on telling her, "I'm sorry, Timea, I'm sorry."
Batts grabbed the gun and put it under the seat of the car. It's a gun his cousin left in a box under the dresser a couple of days before. He admits he had the gun with him all day.
And I know I didn't want to leave the gun on the floor, knowing that my other kids would be getting off the bus soon.
He had it in his hands 5 minutes before Timea returned home.
He looks back over his shoulder. His mind was somewhere else.
It's the same video in a trial that brings up the question, what is the meaning of reckless?
A gun that he is not supposed to have because he is a convicted felon.
He could not leave the gun at the house. He told you my other kids were coming home. It would have been reckless to leave it there.
And this morning, the judge dropped one of his charges, that is false reporting, after the defense brought up that the indictment said that he initiated that false report, even though the judge, after careful deliberation, determined through testimonies there was no evidence backing that up, but had no option, according to the definition of the law, to drop that charge. Once again, just moments ago, the jury decided that they will continue deliberation tomorrow morning at 9. For now, reporting live in Sumner County tonight, I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
Little girl's life cut short at the hands of her father. Tonight, shock turns to mourning as dozens gather to remember a Hendersonville 6th grader. Timea Batts was killed right after she got home from her very first day of school. Her father says he accidentally pulled the trigger. News Channel 5's Julia Bruck is live where that vigil was held tonight. And Julia, this is just a heartbreaking situation.
Absolutely awful, Carrie. And tonight there's a makeshift memorial to remember her. It's full of balloons, flowers, and teddy bears. All a painful reminder that Timea Batts is no longer with this Hendersonville community. The pains of a mother who suffered an unimaginable loss.
She just really hurt. She hurt for words.
Her daughter, 11-year-old Timea Bates, was shot after returning home from her first day back to school.
She was basically the light. She never gave you a dull moment, ever.
Police say this smiling 6th grader was accidentally killed at the hands of her father, a painful reality some of her family members learned about on social media.
So I went back and I looked at the post one more time and I was like, that's my cousin. And that's when it clicked and the bottom fell out.
Tonight, a choir of voices and candles glow to remember a middle school student known for her love of pink and endless energy.
She liked dancing, she liked sports, she liked having fun. She was always an active little girl. She used to get out there. Every time we had to get together, she would get out there and enjoy herself and have fun. She was a wonderful little girl.
It's in times like these that we need you the most.
Yes. A community heartbroken by the tragic loss of a 6th grader, extending its loving hand to a family, now without Timea and her father.
Amen.
Vigil was organized by neighbors in this area. Tonight, a number of her friends showed up, those who rode the bus with her and her cheerleading teammates. They wore pink bows and had hearts on their uniforms. And many tell me she was supposed to cheer with them tonight. Instead, they were here to remember her legacy. In Hendersonville.
Kids missing just sickens my mood. Now I got an attitude. You think I won't battle fool? I will slap the fuck out of you. Maybe I am a radical. Charged up with a matador. You don't love the kids, why do you got them for? I tell the truth, how they got out the door. These cases I can't ignore. You damn right I want your face on the floor. We lacking info pimping, I'ma need more. See, it's the truth that we want. You supposed to love your kid, the truth is you don't. Somebody bring them parents up to the front. Them kids been missing for months. Damn right I'm mad, pimp, I done had enough. Oh, my business, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I might just tear this shit up. Now we got summer, we got horse, and we got orange. Like the parents, they don't care. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? All of the YouTubers pursuing, they do more than what you doing. Now how the fuck you gonna influence? Your reputation done been ruined. Wow, 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 wow. taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Oh, why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Remember that kid they left in the car? Sydney Deal, she had a bum for a father, and it was Sardis Navarre. Just break the window, but he wouldn't even bother. He making kids, now that's really a problem. What about that fella Kawan? The lady picked him up was a mom. Now Kawan was a friend with a son. I can't believe what they done. They found his body in the sugar cane field. Now his parents gotta shed some real tears. This ain't how the fuck we supposed to live. If you got a kid, show them that you love them. Cause they leaving on the dub, protect them. Gotta keep them covered. Cause there's some evil motherfuckers plotting, waiting just to touch them. Don't you think this shit is nuts? They taking kids out by the dozen. It's so many living in your city limits. If you think that they offended, that mean you think this again. It only take a single man. Evaluate the way you live. This was a blessing you was given. It's gonna hit you different if your child just end up missing. Why? Oh, why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Oh, why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Taking these kids, I'm so sick of this shit. Why?
I brought my creativity to YouTube in May of 2021. And the slideshow that you've seen, it highlights every case that I've touched, every story I've tried to tell and shine a light on. That is not me gloating. That is me saying, why the hell is the list so big? Now, all of that didn't happen in 2021. Those were just all the stories I shined my light on because they caught my attention. They moved my heart. But why do I have a year's worth of stories in only 7 months? And a to-do list a mile long. If only I had more months in the year. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. I didn't set out to make a true crime channel, and I don't intend to become that. It's just that this channel is about things that I admire, things I represent, things that I wish that more people at least knew about. That was the whole and only concept. And in doing that, I guess even I've had to realize, and I knew I was true crime, but I guess I'm a lot more true crime than I realized. So it dominates the channel. But it's not the only thing you have seen or will see here. I won't say that. But you will see it, and a lot of it. And I don't share it for fun and entertainment. I don't. That might be what the fair use says, but I don't share it for entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get emotional. And this is not about me. It's about what this channel has made me truly realize. You know, the world is hurting. And people need help. So, of December, we're going to dry our eyes and we're going to use our voices. And I would like to share with you, reshare with you, as many of the stories as I can that I have shared during this year. I pray that in the coming year, these families will have justice and peace. And to help them find it, I only ask that you click that button that says share. If you care about these people, do what you can to help them. That's all I'm doing. So look out for it. All month long, every single day. We started with Echo Lloyd, and I don't know what the next will be. I'll pull from my playlist and I'll pull from my heart. One last shot at it in 2021. Maybe even get justice. Well, that's all I got. I'll see you in the comments and every day in December.